Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. All right, next one comes from Ryan. This is another one on discs. My question is about certain plastic with certain molds. Those kind of along the same lines. Right. I read some posts and heard you guys say some plastics, like Lucid X, doesn't work with certain molds. This is true.
That is very true.
Question, when you say the plastic doesn't work with a mold, what exactly do you mean? Okay, we'll talk about that first.
What that means is it doesn't, for whatever reason, doesn't want to mold. It doesn't want to, maybe it'll have some imperfections. It'll come out overweight. They can't get it as, legal weight. There's just a handful of things that really could affect it. And for whatever reason, some molds are maybe just the way they're shaped, even if it's off, or similar to another one, like let's talk about the Lucid X EMAC.
Yeah.
We made some of those. There wasn't very many of them made because they were struggling to make them. But then a disc like the Lucid X Verdict that we just produced, that we were able to produce a lot of them, which is kind of weird because both of those discs are pretty similar in feel, but they're off just a touch. To where they, for whatever reason, the Lucid EMAC just didn't want to hold it.
Yeah. Now, that's not to say they might not figure it out.
Of course not.
And and that kind of sounds bad, like they don't know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They know exactly what they're doing, but when they come out with new plastics and new molds and stuff like that, it's a process.
Yep.
It's a learning process, and they take the knowledge that they know and they try to improve it, and they try to do it better, and they try to come up with new things. So, yeah. His second question was, for those limited discs that were made and released in the plastic that doesn't work for the mold, are they good enough quality to throw, or should I put it on my wall as cool display collector piece? I think there's some maybe some miscommunication here, misinformation. When we say it doesn't work for the mold, they wouldn't have produced it if it was going to be crappy.
Exactly.
Right. So
they would have sent it back to the green machine.
Right. And they just may not mass produce it, or they may not, I can't think of a specific mold, but I'm sure there's a mold that, I don't even know.
It's like the EMAC. I mean, it's exactly like the EMAC because they could only make a couple hundred of them.
Right.
I think is what they had, 200 of them that were made. And for whatever reason, that's all that they could make. And as of right now, they don't plan to go back to it. And as far as if that's the disc that you're speaking about, is the Lucid X EMAC, because that's probably, I would say it is the lowest quantity run of the Lucid X plastics. I would highly recommend throwing it, honestly. Okay. I've got one in my bag, and I love how it throws. The only stipulation I would say, or thing to be concerned about, is if you lose it, it's going to be tough to replace.
Right.
Because it is so limited. So, it depends. Throw it, and if you love the way it flies, then why wouldn't you throw it? If a disc flies great for you and you don't have another disc to do that, throw it.
Throw it. Just don't lose it.